Welcome back to How This Mom Does It, and today I'm going to be sharing with you our read aloud selections for the 2016-2017 school year. I'm also going to be sharing with you how I'm going to organize them into our schedule. If you're interested in seeing what we're going to be reading and how I organize it, stay tuned. So as you can see, I'm sitting here in a pile of books. I'm in the process of organizing all of our books for the year. Now, in this video, I'm going to be going over our read aloud stack, but I go through and pre-select all of our books for the year, our read alouds, our shared reading, her assigned independent reading, as well as special picture books for my son and ones I share with both my children. And I put those all into my lesson plan spreadsheet, and I'll be sharing how I organize them in a different video. But I did want to share that these aren't the only books we're going to be reading. I actually have stacks and stacks, and there's more than that of books that I'm going through and organizing for the year. So for this video, we're going to be going over our read alouds. So when I am making my read aloud list for the year, I go through and I choose books from multiple places. I go through and just pick books that I think both of my children will like, because we do read alouds together with both of my children. And I have a first/second grader and a preschooler. And my son, my preschooler, has basically been listening to read aloud since he was a baby, so he will sit through chapter books no problem. And I choose to do read aloud time at night. It just works better for our family. It's a good wind down time. We sit in a chair together and I read all of my assigned reading that we hadn't got through the day, as well as the read alouds. And sometimes if they want to pick an extra book, then they can pick an extra book. But we'll basically sit down and read for 30 minutes to an hour at night, and it just helps them go to sleep. So it's a win-win. We get school reading done and it helps them go to sleep. So that's how we do read aloud time. When I'm choosing my books, I basically make a list, and then I try and put them where I think they will fit well in our schedule for each month. So for instance, if we're reading a book that has Christmas in it, then I try and put it in December. If we're reading a book about, like, Mr. Popper's Penguins, I try and put it in January, where we're going to be studying penguins. And Molly's Pilgrim, then we'll do it in November. So I just try to look at what book makes most sense for each month, and then I put them into that month's reading schedule, and I'll share all that in a different video, how I actually plan each weeks and the months, how I plan all that. But let's just go ahead and get into the reading list for right now, and these are just the read alouds. Okay, so these are my stacks of books for the year, and I have them on my list. And the highlighted ones, you can see if I have them highlighted, those are ones I have as audiobooks. So that is a tip for you busy homeschooling parents out there who plan to do a lot of literature and read alouds. I like to have several of them as audiobooks. We have an Audible account, and I wait till they go on sale, and I purchase them for the next year, so I have them at a good price, and that just works for us. So when we're out and about in the car, I can play one of our books from that month, and we can get some literature time in that way. I can also play them during lunchtime, or have the kid play it while the kids color or draw a picture from the story, something like that. We've done all those things, and I never regret having them, several of them, as audiobooks. I do try to spread them out, so I don't have audiobooks back to back. If I can try to do it that way, that's the way I try. but I like to have them organized by in a way that makes sense by the month as well. So however they work out is kind of how they work out. But I do try and space out the audiobooks. So I'm going to go ahead and get into the list. The first book is actually Goonie Bird Green, and that one I only have as an audiobook. I don't have the physical copy of that. The next book will be Welcome to Silver Street Farm. The Time Warp Trio, Tut Tut. The Year of Miss Agnes. Owls in the Family. Understood Betsy, and that one is an audiobook only. Homer Price. Ramona the Pest. Charlotte's Web. The Case of the Gasping Garbage. Mrs. Pigglewiggle. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing this right. Banicula? And the next one I just have as an audiobook. It's Children of the Noisy Village by Astrid Lindgren. And then we're doing The Courage of Sarah Noble. Molly's Pilgrim. Sarah Plain and Tall. Encyclopedia Brown. Freckle Juice. The Family Under the Bridge. The Light at Turn Rock. Mr. Popper's Penguins. Little Pear. A Grain of Rice. The Magic Treehouse Day of the Dragon King. My Father's Dragon. Grace's Letter to Lincoln. Phoebe the Spy. The Bears on Hemlock Mountain. The next book I just have as an audiobook, and it is Mary Poppins. And then Henry Huggins. Pippi in the South Seas. Pollyanna. The Railway Children. Clementine. The Big Wave. And Judy Moody. Okay, so I just want to also mention that all of these books, because we have a lot of books, all of these books for the most part I've gotten used. I pretty much, or at book sales, so I pretty much spend $1 or less per book. That's my goal. So we do have a lot of books, and I really try to build a good library, a home library for my kids. I feel like it's important. It's something that I value. So I want to have these books available to my children whenever they want, not just from the library. So I do purchase pretty much all of our books, but I do it used to save money. So that's a good tip to those just starting out, is to look for used bookstores in your area and ask if they have homeschool discounts, because sometimes they do, or teacher discounts. So that is a tip that has really saved us a lot of money, because you can see we have a lot of books. I'm going through our these are our read alouds, but I also do shared reading and assigned reading throughout the year as well. So I'm working on planning that out. So you can see when we have this, just a little portion of the books we have. We have a lot of books. So definitely look for used bookstores in your area and used book sales, as well as online to find the books that you need. I did buy just a few new books that I had wanted and couldn't find, but for the most part they're all used for around $1. So I hope you liked this video. If you do, click like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.